Greetings. It is Monday, February 15th, 2021. This is the Sightseeing and Dignity Human Rights Art Series drawing completed over the weekend, just passed. SWD catalog initials 44. The Dictator's Sea Monster. A small, down here, too much overhead neon light reflected on the ink and gouache watercolor. A small devilfish, and memorial portrait of Czech historian, theater and literature critic Zavis Kalandra, who was born in 1902. Studied at Charles University when he was of university college age. Was idealistic communist, not unknown among millions of people in different countries back in the 1920s. When he was in his 20s, he soon became disillusioned with Stalinism, though, and was a critic of the Communist Party. He was arrested by the Nazis in 1939. He spent somewhere between 5 and 6 years in Nazi concentration death camps, including Ravensbrück. He was alive at the end of the war. I haven't seen any reference to him being Jewish, so I'm assuming he was of Christian background, either Protestant or Catholic, which might have helped save his life, not being Jewish. He and other intellectual dissident critics of the post-World War II communist government of Czechoslovakia were prosecuted and charged with treason, and they were all executed, a number of them, or several, on the same day in 1950. So my drawing is with pencil, colored pencil, ink, different color inks like liquid bottled inks. They're drawn with little pen nibs like this, and I think I mentioned colored pencil. There's stitching all around the drawing paper, which happened because I was planning on putting it in a frame. It's up there, this wood frame. Kind of looks like the front of it looks like an old pre-computer era library card catalog holder. But then after I cut off the paper borders, I saw that I had drawn too close to the edge, and so the drawing on the edges were going to be covered by the wood frame. So then I decided to reattach those 4 pieces of paper, which I did with acid-free, like archival tape, and then I used kind of like a heavy thread and stitched all the way around. Yesterday, while browsing the internet for information on the life of this victim of governmental repression in Czechoslovakia during its early communist government years, I learned that a woman I had depicted in a drawing in the Under the Wing series, which I drew in 2018, that they had actually known each other at the Ravensbrück concentration death camp in Germany, which startled and astonished me. But I was very pleased to learn of this historical fact. I have to try to find out how it was that they were able to even communicate. I'm assuming that there would have been separate men's and women's sections in the concentration camp. Thank you, birds. You're doing an excellent musical accompaniment here, for which I'm going to get pay raises. Maybe some extra treats this week as soon as I can get out. to a store. Good show. Anyway, her name was Milena Jesenska. She was also from Czechoslovakia. Actually, she had an interesting history herself. Her father was a well-known public figure in Prague, was a well-known doctor, right-wing and anti-Semite, as it were. She rejected those kind of fascist values and got involved in very kind of contemporary things. She ended up as a prisoner at Ravensbrück, which I mentioned, where she knew Kalandra, and she was born in 1889. So she was, about 13 or so years older than Kalandra. She had been a lover once of a Franz Kafka, probably one of the most famous authors of the 20th century, at least in Western countries. And she was a writer, a translator for Kafka, an editor. She died at Ravensbrück on May 17, 1944. And this medium, this is ink, pencil, gouache, which is like watercolor. And I have 10 pieces of a 1976 woodcut. I had done called King David, like an abstract portrait. And each of these pieces are from a proof of the King David woodcut. The boat I drew from a toy boat I found in an exchange table in the building where I live. So there you have it. And this frame worked actually beautifully for the drawing of Milena Jesenska. And when I pulled it out of the plastic bag it was in, so I could look at it and compare it to the new drawing of Kalandra. And I was amused to see I had forgotten that I had drawn with ink to make it look as if I had actually stitched, but I hadn't actually stitched any thread here. It just gives the appearance of it because I had cut the drawing out in this kind of non-rectilinear shape and mounted it on a larger sheet of paper at one point. So whereas the drawing of Kalandra has actual stitched thread. Now looking at this now, I'd like to, it's going to be great if I could find a frame that would complement this drawing from the Under the Wing series. I have to find a frame larger. I want to get a mat for it. So anyway, I'll figure that out. All right, there you have it. These drawings are meant for not only history education, but for tolerance education with and for children of all ages and adolescents, teens, young adults, as well as adults of all ages, and teachers and college faculty and clergy and so on. So the sea monsters are allegorical, and they follow my years of having done depictions of people with metaphoric birds' wings. I'll see if this shows up here. Kind of through some different things that are hanging up. There's a early drawing from the Under the Wing series. Two children seated on a Warsaw ghetto sidewalk, one appearing to be blind, and both of them, on both of these victims, which I drew from a Warsaw ghetto photograph, we see birds' wings that I drew. And all right, there you have it for now. Birds. Did you want to add anything to the commentary here at 9 minutes 52 seconds? You got 8 seconds for a solo if you like. Well, they've gotten quiet. late in the afternoon. It's 3:20. They tend to start napping. All right. There you have it. Thank you for watching.